Hello everybody, my name's Luke. Welcome to Ecosystem by Farmwell. I'm one of the urban farmers for Farmwell, growing food on Gadigal land here in Sydney, and I'll be one of the main instructors guiding you through the program. I'm really excited to get to teach you how to grow nutritious and healthy food in the comfort of your home or your school, and I'm looking forward to taking you on that journey and getting you all to become confident urban farmers all on your own. The first lesson I'll be taking you through is nice and easy, and I'll be taking you on a little tour through my house to show you where best to set up your ecosystem in your own home or your school. So before choosing the space for your setup, there are a few important numbers you need to be made aware of. The system itself requires about 40 centimeters deep by 110 centimeters wide and consists of both an aquaponics unit and a hydroponics unit. Here behind me I have the fish tank, which will form the aquaponics unit part of the system. So it's important that they're both together because they will share a single grow light in between them. So that light needs to be able to reach both systems in order to help the various plants and microgreens grow. So make sure you've got a space at least 40 centimeters deep by 110 centimeters wide. The next thing to consider is the weight. So both units will be full of water, and between both the fish tank and the hydroponic unit, you'll have roughly sort of 70 or so liters of water. So we advise a table or a strong surface like a bench top that can hold up to about 80 kilograms or so, just to be on the safe side. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you don't choose any sort of flimsy furniture or a little side table that couldn't handle that amount of weight. Once you've found a place like that, then we can get into the next stage of setting up your system. So once we've found a suitable surface for the placement of our system, the environment of the actual room is really important. What we're looking for is a room that has a nice stable temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And we want to avoid any space in your house that will be directly in front of a window, like a north-facing window that gets direct sun on it. The sun will hamper the microgreens' ability to grow and can also cause issues with the tank and encourage excess algae growth that we want to avoid. And also just the overall temperature, it could heat up the room too much. Microgreens do have like a set range in which they prefer to germinate, and we'll get into that in future videos. But really what you're looking for is a nice ambient room temperature, somewhere between sort of like 22 to 28 degrees, something like that. Temperature is really important. Airflow is another important issue as well. So you want to have a window that you can open to allow fresh air into the room. And obviously you can regulate that by opening a window or maybe turning on some aircon if you've got it, or using some fans in the room to try and circulate the air. You want some natural airflow, and also you want some nice gentle ambient light, but avoid direct sunlight directly in front of a window. So one key ingredient across both your systems is water. In both aquaponics and hydroponics, water is very key to those cycles. So you'll need to choose a place where it's easy to clean up water if you do happen to spill it, and also have a nice easy access to water. So a place like a kitchen is great because you've got a sink, in the room already, and also the bench tops work as a perfect surface because they're used to getting water on them. It's easy to wipe up and dry up, and you won't damage anything. So ideally a bench top or potentially a room that has wooden floorboards is good. If you do have carpet, then maybe we'll need to think about how you're going to service the tank and set it up initially. So potentially bring some towels with you or a small tarp just to protect any areas that may get damaged by excess sort of water spillage or any overflows, things like that. So once you've got the water side sorted, you also need to make sure you've got enough room to service your equipment. So you don't want to put it right up in the corner against the wall or next to a bookshelf or something like that where you can't get access to the unit. We advise you need to leave sort of like a hand's width at least around all parts of the unit, front, back and sides, in order to service it correctly, to set it up and to get your growing microgreens in there and harvest effectively as well. So we don't want it too tucked in a corner, and we want it to be accessible. So here, for example, it's really good. I can get fully around the unit, but this particular spot in my kitchen is not big enough to support both units. So I'll show you another room in the house that might be suitable. Another potential suitable location is the lounge room or dining area. Now that's great because it has high visibility in the house and the family can interact with it, and any guests that come over, it can spark some good conversations. In my particular case, I've got wooden floorboards, so any water spills is not an issue because I can easily clean them up. And also another thing to be aware of is you'll have lots of bits and pieces with these systems once you've got them set up. So it's good to have some storage handy. And in my case, I have this sort of dining table shelf unit where I've got lots of storage underneath. So that could be good for me to store things like fish food and watering cans and stuff like that. And on the issue of filling up your systems, we do recommend that you buy a dedicated watering can, around 3 to 5 litres. That's so you don't introduce any potential harmful pathogens, like if you're using a watering can from your outside garden. So just get yourself a new clean can and it'll solve a lot of problems moving forward potentially. So that's one thing you need to look out for. Other than that, other benefits of the lounge room is often you'll have pretty good lighting and ventilation in the lounge room or a dining area. In my case, I've got a nice window that's behind the camera as well. It's indirect light, so it's not going to hit the tank directly. I'm going to avoid any of those potential issues with algae growth. So the lounge room is another great option to consider as well. One thing to be aware of though is quite a lot of traffic through a room like this. So you do need to be mindful of any children or pets that you may have. Make sure the systems are set up on a surface where pets can't jump up and knock them down, and same goes for kids as well. As a general rule, we advise that you supervise children if they are around the system, especially when feeding the fish, because they do get really excited to do that, but the fish can get overfed very easily. You can get sick pretty quickly. So always be mindful of pets and children if you do have them in your house as well. So in my house, I have an attic that's been converted into a bit of a spare space, and it is perfect for my ecosystem. So behind the camera, we have some south-facing windows, which is perfect because we get nice ambient light throughout the day, but we don't get any harsh direct sunlight directly onto the tank or the plants or the microgreens that will be growing later. There's enough room up here for me to access the tank fully, so I can replace any components, I can service it, I can clean the tank, feed the fish, all those things that we'll need to do regularly throughout the program. And it's out of the way as well, so I can leave the pump running at night and it won't disturb our sleep, and it's not going to disturb anyone sort of in the lounge room if they're trying to watch TV and things like that. So for my situation, this is the perfect setup, and it's where I've chosen to set up my ecosystem. It's also where I'll be doing most of my instructional videos for the course, so hopefully you like the feel of the place, and I look forward to teaching you from here. If you have any questions, you can put a photo of your potential spaces up on Mighty Networks, and the Farmwell team would love to have a look and give you some advice and input into where might be the best place to set up your ecosystem. So that brings us to the end of my first module with you all. It's been really great meeting you all, and I hope you found a great space to set up your ecosystem at home or in the classroom. I look forward to connecting with you on Mighty Networks, so make sure you download the app and get active on there. I look forward to talking to you more and getting to answer some of your urban farming questions. Until then, my name is Farmer Luke, saying happy growing, and we'll see you on the farm next time.